Hello, hello. All right. So we are in oh, we are in the throat chakra right now. We have moved so far and done so much together in the chakra embodiment. And we have now moved more into the spirit, more into the connection with spirit. As you can see, I'm wearing my beautiful blue here. I have my favorite. I have my blue bracelet on. I have a lot of blue connections that I'm wearing, so I'm embodying the energy that way. The beautiful thing about the throat chakra is that if you look at your throat, it is such a small part of your body. It is this very tiny neck that supports this head. And there's so much activity that goes on with the head, so many senses that are here. How we experience the world is kind of through this. We've got our eyesight, our hearing, our taste, our smell. So this is such an important screen from which we perceive the world that we are in. And with the throat chakra, we are going to be really connecting to the power and the vibration of our voice. So our words have power. We manifest our life through our words, our thoughts, our deeds, our words, our actions. They create so much of our life and how we're experiencing our life right now. So think about your words. Think about your name. Think about how your name sounds when someone loves you versus when someone is yelling at you or angry at you. Think about the specificity and the power of that voice. You know, when your mom was mad at you and she called your name, ooh, you knew right away what you knew what was behind that energetic. And if you think about our voices, they have so much power. They create the world. You know, we speak I am into the world, and that is the world that we create. So when someone says, "How are you?" and you answer, "I am," know that that's part of your power, your ability to manifest in this world is simply through how you are interacting with the environment and the world around you. So, in the throat chakra, there are so many different sounds that can come from our voice. Each chakra, as we've been going along, you've noticed, has a different musical note. We essentially are a musical scale, an octave, right? Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi. Think about it. Think about where all these words come from. Think about doe, a deer, a female deer, right? This is the note C. This is family. This is nature. This is security. This is safety. Ray, a drop of golden sun, right? So if the sun is your solar plexus, there's a drop of that in the sacral chakra. This note is where we perceive the world, where we emote our feelings, where we are creative and create in this world. Me, think about it. Me, 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 me. I love it. Solar plexus is all about me. It's about the great I am. And then you have the fa of the heart, which is, you know, you can't run very far if you're not connected to your heart, right? You're not going to get very far. If you're not connected to your heart, then you are going to be lost. So A needle pulling thread. Think about that, like a needle pulling thread, like this little tiny needle pulling thread down to our body, connecting us down to this earth. It's this little tiny needle that is pulling the thread, connecting us to the earth. Now, one of the things that we've talked about with all of the other chakras has also been the seed sounds. So we can start, and now we're in the throat chakra, and we're thinking really, really thinking about sound and frequency here. We've touched on it with all the chakras, but let's focus on that right now. We have Lam for the root chakra, Lam, Lam. And it's not so much about the meaning of the sound. It's about the emotion, the way you emote, the way you connect to it. I usually tend to think about it as Lam sounds like land, right? So that's what brings us closer to the ground. Lam, Lam. So we have that connection to land, to earth, to Pachamama, to Mother Earth. That connects us. Vam is the sacral, Ram, Ham, and Yam. And I like to think about it because it's yummy, right? So when we are using these seed sounds are connecting you to your divinity. They are helping you rise up the spiritual ascension, the spiritual ladder, getting you closer to yourself. And once you get do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, what do? You start all over again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you just keep singing. And that's what spiritual evolution is. You're not stopping. It's not like once you get to a certain place, you just stop. You keep going and you find people that harmonize with you. So in life, someone might be in a very different place. And sometimes you can make music, even you really connect, you vibrate together. It's probably because you're on a similar place, just at different places in the octave. But sometimes, you meet someone and the sounds, the harmony, the vibration doesn't quite go together. But we need to start thinking about ourselves as an instrument. As a child growing up, I was never really especially the best singer in the world, but I was always a theater kid. So I was around a lot of people who were incredibly talented. And, their voice is an instrument. Even someone that wasn't a singer, I still had to learn how to use my voice as an instrument, how to be able to do vocal exercises and breath work, and to be able to warm up my voice. My dog is using her voice to warm up and communicate to us. So with the voice comes responsibility in some ways, because the tone of our voice that we use in this world is going to change a story. When I was in, acting classes, we would get the same script and it was boring. It was like A, hello, B, hi, A, what have you been up to? B, not much. And it would just keep going on. And it would be very like bland, nothing. And it would have like a beginning, a middle, and end, 5 or 6, 7 lines, nothing fancy. And in theater, we would all have to do these same exercises, but with different intentions behind it. Scared, angry. One person is angry and one person is upset, like, because the change of your voice as an instrument. Hold on one second. Doggy, you want to go outside? Yeah. All right. Go outside. Communication is important. We all do it. And we don't necessarily need words to communicate. I could very easily communicate with my dog right now to know exactly what she needed. She needed to go outside, and we can communicate to each other. We don't necessarily need to use words. And that's why sometimes someone's word doesn't quite match the vibration, right? Because if someone is being sarcastic, right, you can tell, usually, and not always. I've always been a little bit of an Amelia Bedelia. Those of us that tend to be very close to spirit sometimes have a hard time. Like, is that sarcasm? Like, I'm having a hard time reading you because, right, their energy is saying something different than their words. And so we're trying to be like, oh, that's not quite making sense. Break that down for me a bit. So in the communication, the ability to communicate, to emote our feelings, this is an important skill set of being able to be in harmony with your intention and your words. A throat chakra in imbalance often shows itself as sarcasm, as gossip, as judgment. And you think about it, we're taught from a very young age as kids that sarcasm is funny, right? We're the gossip, like, tell me about your day. What did your friends say? What this had, right? That's teaching skills that are not in harmony with the throat chakra. If you tend to be in judgment a lot and you're passing judgment, especially verbally, on about other people, i.e. gossip, that means that there is a throat chakra imbalance. So one of the beautiful ways to connect to this chakra is going to be with a diet of your words, being careful of what you say, being careful of how you say it, and being careful that the vibration, that the words that you're manifesting, that you're speaking out into this world, are for the benefit of all, that you're doing so with love, with generosity, with an open heart. And if you're not, then you are going to be creating imbalances in other places. Now, everyone I've worked with, usually needs healing in the throat chakra, mainly because it's one of the chakras that will change day to day, because based on what we said or didn't say, we will always be, working in this area. A best way to connect to this chakra is actually to hum. That's the seed sound of the chakra. Hum, 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 right? It's yummy in your heart, yum, yum. And then it comes up here, hum, hum. That's where the word hum comes from. It's a healing sound, hum, hum. And so humming, making sound, I am a light language activator. So what light language is it's basically spirit or an aspect of your higher self speaking through you, if with words and intonations that bring the meaning across. The vibration is there, but there's no ego-based words that can be contradicted or dissected, or like PC words. Sometimes words are okay now, and then a couple generations it's not, like gay, or faggot used to mean a bundle of sticks. And, so it's like these words can change. So, people can get up in their heads depending on what they're hearing, what they're saying, so the fact that these words don't have meaning gives them just the true power of the vibration of them. And in theater, I started being activated in light language before I even really understood it. I was always really good at the gibberish game, which was basically doing a whole scene with a seat partner, and you need to explain something to someone without using words. And that's essentially what gibberish is. So bring that over here to me. I need to look at it. Something like that, right? So you would do that in a theater exercise. Well, just making sounds is a way to release tension in your throat. You all had it, right? Where you feel hurt in your heart, so it rises up to your throat, and that lump in your throat comes. And the next step is your tears, which will purify it and let it go. But most of us go, no, I'm not going to cry, and we push it down. So there's that lump in our throat. That needs to happen. Those things don't just go away just because you push it down. It's still going to be needed to be experienced, felt, said, etc. So it just means you prolonged the experience of the healing that needed to take place. So in terms of light language and in terms of releasing the trauma that comes with it, just making sounds. So if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of, you know, cursing them, and think about that, how strong it is cursing at someone. You don't want to do that. The power of those words, when you speak anger at someone, even if you're not cursing, you're still sending that vibration to them. They're going to feel that, to pick that up. It's going to affect them. So you can just use sounds like, oh, they cut you off in traffic. Oh, just kind of feel it and emote it, and instead of pushing it down. That's a nice, I mean, you can't always necessarily do that. People do tend to look at me a little funny when I make my little gibberish sounds, but those that love me know that that's just kind of one of the things that I do. But over the years, doing that over and over and over again has opened up to me. That is one of my psychic gifts. That's xenoglosia. That's light language. That's speaking with your heart, speaking the soul language of your soul. So if you think about it, we can all do that. And you don't have to think in terms of, what am I saying? Is it right? You're doing it now in so many ways. Just you're doing it with the tones of your voice, and you're using it with words. You can tell when you're speaking love to someone or when you're speaking anger to someone. You can tell, you've noticed toddlerese, right? When you speak to a toddler or an animal, you use that high pitched sweet sound. Oh, come here, baby. How are you doing? Oh, that's because it's a higher vibration. It's a higher octave. So if they're not listening to the words you're saying, they're listening to the in tone, right? You're calling them in. You're being safe. You're being gentle. You're being nurturing. When I was very young, and when I was, struggling, I taught myself how to be angry. I would say lower and slower, because first thing I would do is my throat would close up. I'd start to cry, and I could never have conversations with people because I was so emotional, and nobody took me seriously. So I had to teach myself how to be lower and slower, to be more aggressive with my tone. Now that comes quite naturally to me, and I have to work the other way, right? But it's like you have to learn how to have that command of your voice. I had to ground myself, lower and slower. That's basically grounding your energy. It's being able to be strong and connected to the earth. Now, let's talk a little bit about grounding and why that's connected to the throat chakra. A lot of times people are like, with the color of the throat chakra, like, what blue really is it, and what does it mean? And this is the way that I tend to think of it. It's a very light blue, but when you add the power of the earth, you get more of that indigo color, right? So more of that dark royal blue. And that dark royal blue is where we really start tapping into our intuition. Purple, indigo, purple. So you need to be grounded. The reason why so many people suffer in the throat chakra, 9 times out of 10, is because they are not grounded in their energy. They're not speaking their truth. They're not connecting to the vibration. They're not grounding while they're talking. They're not anchoring that light in. And then another thing to think about is with the throat chakra, if you look at an image of the throat, and if you look at an image of the yoni for a woman, right, they look almost exactly the same. The throat and the vagina, right? These are parts of our body. And so a woman is often not speaking if something happens and her sacral chakra, or she has sexual trauma. It's going to be translated into how she speaks and manifests in the world. These vibrate almost at that same pace, and they go together. So in my personal opinion, the sacral and the throat chakra are the most important chakras to be doing your healing in, because they are often overlooked. However, you can't do work in the sacral or the throat chakra if you're not grounded. So the root chakra is always fundamental. It's first, it's the foundation, it's the base. But the energy builds. So in terms of the colors, right? So red plus light blue. That's where red plus light blue is going to give you that royal blue. So that's why that blue feeling that you get for people might be, the blues might be different. You'll notice that like a Mother Mary blue is going to be more of like a dark blue. And because she's the queen of heaven. Now with the different chakras, and you want to think about them in terms of a light palette and a color palette. And this was something that I didn't always understand, is that the in a color palette, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, right? Yes, red, yellow, and blue. So the blue is a very important color, right? You need to use these to make all the secondary colors. In light, it's red, green, and they come together, and when these colors come together, they make the white. So it has a slightly different, connection of how the colors come together and what they mean in terms of the palette, but they're all very, very, very powerful. And so when you're working in the throat chakra, you know that you're working from a primary place, right? This is very important. You need to be able to have your throat clear so that way you can manifest in this world, your thoughts, your deeds, your words, your action. I'm going to keep coming back to that because it's so important. There's so much to say about the throat chakra. It's such a beautiful space to be in. This week, we are going to be giving our throat a break. In terms of food, the best thing you can be eating is soft foods like smoothies and stews and soft. You don't want to you don't want to overwork your jaws right now. They do so much work. If you are able to, you can take a diet of your words, maybe talk less, be very specific about when you're speaking. Now, if you're one of those people who kind of live alone and you don't have a lot of chance or to communicate or talk to people, maybe for you, a healing would be to actually call and speak to others and practice using your voice. Using your voice with sound, with vibration. Lam, vam, ram, hum. Lam, vam, ram, hum. Being able to connect to those seed sounds. Being able to connect to the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Keep going with the, and just so you know, every singer knows this. I'm not sure if you know this because we always forget about it, but even the best singers need to warm up their voices. So if it doesn't sound great when you first start, that's normal. Keep doing it. You can go on YouTube. They're beautiful, beautiful. I do a lot of my voice exercises right on YouTube where you can find the vocal warm-ups, vocal coaches, and they play the piano and you can just sing along with them. Just practice vocal warm-ups using breath work, using connecting your voice, making sounds, singing in the shower, humming. Again, humming, so important. Light language, of course, is beautiful. If you speak light language, continue doing it. If you want to become a light language speaker, the best way to be activated in it is to listen to other people speaking light language. And that being said, because we're coming to the end of our first lesson, normally I do a meditation, but for today, because we are in the throat chakra, I'm going to do a light language healing for the throat chakra with messages and vibrations from spirit for you to carry you through this week. Just give me 1 second. Au no kono o na koshina o. Ashina ka kono kono yakai ni yakai. Akono kona kai yakai. Ashunko monya sakana kai akono koya kanakai. Akai akomo koshnia. Akana ai akai akuposhnia kai anakai. Soko no soposhnia akana siaka moko. Iaka iaka aka. Ako na kai shiniaka siakai. Ako no kono kono koi niakai. Akane yakai. Ayakania. 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 Ya. Okunoko shnia kania kai. Okunoko shnia kai. Okunoko ya kai. Aikanai. Opo shnia kai se kamo shnia kai. Akala shnia kai. Apo nia kai zia shnia kai. Opo nia. Yakona yakana. Yakoshnia push. Yakona pushnia push. Yala kia okono kaya kanya okono kaya. Ia kono koshnia kai puno koshnia kia kai. Akana ea akana ia kanya ia ono kaya ia kanya kono koshnia kai ia kono shnia ia kanoshia ia una ukuno uno kono oshia kono oya ayakana akshuno kono ya kai ia akono shnia kapushnia kai la komunia kaya zai no ya Maushnya ham maya kanoshya ham moishnya kiana ham moshna kaina ya ham maya kiana ho maya naya om ya modukunya ya ham akinya kono ya miya kaino ya kana ya ham Awono konya hiya ham, aishinya kana hiya ham, maria kai, aishinya kaya okono kaya kana shia kai, ya okono koshnia kaya, ya kana kashinya kaki ya kana kai, akadia shin kia kana ya kana oh kai, akoshnia kia nakai shnia. I could really feel the energy for that one. With light language is a healing has taken place through the sound vibrations of the energy. Angelic tones come out. And even though you might have just been sitting there, it's good to listen to it again. It's good to follow your intuition of what your body needs. I always say drink water because water is always going to be healing, especially for this chakra. Now, this chakra's element is ether, right? This is sound vibration. If you can, try to find in your area crystal sound baths or go to a music concert or go on YouTube and listen or, just chant with the vibrations for the seed sounds or musical notes, singing. Really, really practice on the sound vibrations and the words and the vibration and the energy that you're putting out into this world. Of course, for crystals, we're looking for blues and light blues. My favorite throat chakra crystal is probably, I really love turquoise. Turquoise is also considered very good for the solar plexus, but there's something about turquoise that really connects with me for this chakra. And I love it and I work with it. I will have a list of other oils. Peppermint oil is going to be beautiful. Peppermint is soothing for the throat. Anything that is soothing for the throat will be good. Be kind to your throat this week. Eat soft foods, soups, smoothies, stews, juices, and less chewing the better. Technically, it would be more vegan, and because we're moving up. If you're not ready to move up to vegan yet, then keep it vegetarian and be ready to go vegan for the or the third eye. Be kind to yourself, love yourself, drink lots of water, and know that you are loved and it's safe to speak your truth. Affirmations. There's so many beautiful affirmations for the throat chakra. I'll have them listed. Record them and listen to your own voice saying the affirmations. You can do that for all the chakras, but especially this one. Take the affirmations that I send you and write them down. Sure, but for this one, record it in your own voice of you saying the affirmations. I am worthy. I am loved. I can speak my truth. It is safe for me to speak my truth. The world needs to hear what I have to say. I am worthy. I am confident. I speak my truth with grace and ease, right? Allow yourself to really gain in that confidence. And I am wise. I am happy to speak my truth. And I know that people listen to me. I am well respected. I am appreciated. My voice matters. My thoughts matter. My words matter. I am manifesting the best life with my words, with my thoughts, with my deeds, with my actions. So just record yourself saying these beautiful affirmations and more, and listen to your own voice. There's something really powerful. That's why a lot of healings will record your voice. And so you can listen to it later. It's amazing what happens. Like when you do like a regression or something like that, if I were to work with you and do a regression or a QHHT or something like that, part of the homework then is to go in and listen to your own voice when you were channeling or in regression, because then you can connect to that. Oh, that is me. That's my power. And I'm speaking my truth and it's coming from me. So it feels more connected to you. What a blessing it's been to be in this journey with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Blessings be.